Hello, I'm Joe Rossi, and this is the YESS Boxing Club's Q&A number 39. I'm with one of my former fighters, Gerald Little Bomb Javier. We're going to bring you 3 exercises that you can do on your own to stay fit. You don't need a gym. You just need floor space, whether it be a small floor space or you could do this outside. We're going to present to you something that we call animal drills. In animal drills, just how they sound, we take movements from animals and we make exercises out of them. And I think nature teaches us a lot when it comes to exercise and how to move our bodies. So for you guys, I want you to think of a couple of things when you're performing these exercises that we're going to present to you. One of them is mobility and flexibility. You have to be able to be mobile and flexible. And if you're not mobile and flexible, more of a reason to do these types of movements. I also want you to think of stabilizing and tightening parts of your body so you're strong and you are tight and you brace while you do these exercises. So we're going to start with a basic inchworm. So Gerald, I'm going to have you perform an inchworm. So Gerald's going to start in a standing position and he literally is just going to walk out into a push-up position. So as Gerald walks out into a push-up position, before he walks back, he braces. His arms are straight. He's flexing his abs as if somebody's going to punch him in the stomach. He's squeezing his butt cheeks together. He's tight. He's stable. He's bracing. Now he's going to walk himself back up to the standing position. So you got a G. So this would be an in-place inchworm. Now, a moving inchworm where you're going for distance. If you have a little bit more space or you want to do this outside, make sure you wear a pair of protective gloves, especially if you're working on asphalt or concrete. But if you're on the grass, you'll be fine without any gloves. Gerald's going to go now and walk out into an inchworm. He inches his way hand by hand, and now he's going to move his feet toe by toe into the start position and walk right out again. Brace, stabilize, tight. Slowly come up. And even when you're coming up to that standing position, that's where we have to think about flexibility and mobility. So you're getting a lot of aspects of physical fitness with an exercise like this. You're walking out into a push-up position, so you're working your chest, your shoulders, your triceps. You're flexing your abdominals, you're bracing your hips, you're keeping your legs nice and straight. Your whole entire body is getting a workout while you do this. So when Gerald walks out again this direction, all those muscles are getting involved. You're training, strength training with just by doing this type of movement. And if you want to classify an exercise like this, it definitely is a relative body weight exercise, strength in relation to your body weight. So you're going to have to be able to move your body in this movement. So now Gerald's going to inch his way up again. Mobility, flexibility, right? Comes out, brace, and pops back up. So that would be called inchworms. The next one we're going to do is going to be a crab walk. So we're going to do a crab walk forward and a crab walk backward. Now, if you're in a small space, we'll just act like we're in a, let's just say, an 8-foot by 8-foot space, okay? Now, just being in this position, Gerald's going to brace in the start position. His butt's going to be up off the floor. His arms are straight. And I prefer you guys to try the best as possible to externally rotate your palm position as much as possible to alleviate any impingement on your shoulders. So the start position is externally rotate your palm position. Arms are straight, relieving tension in your shoulders. You're squeezing your ass that is off the ground. Your butt should not be on the ground. Your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees and hips are in the bent position. Now all you're going to do is 1 foot in one hand position at a time. You're going to walk forward. So G's going to walk forward. And notice how he extends his heel out and pulls himself in. That's a hamstring curl. Now when he goes backward in this small space, he pushes his heel and propels himself in the opposite direction. The entire time you are bracing in this position. You are not resting. And you're, again, working your entire body, which is why I think a drill like this is valuable. So that's a forward and a backward. Now, with this exercise and the other exercise, those are 3 different movements that you have for yourself to play around with and train. How do you train these? Well, let's start by just practicing them so you can do them efficiently. That's number 1. Number 2, when you get good at just doing them, you can now train them even more. And the way you can train these a little bit more is you can make a goal of putting on your stopwatch or a timer or a bell or your microwave and go for a 3-minute round. See how many forward, and backwards you can do in a 3-minute round. What distance you should choose? Well, always start small, choose a small distance. Maybe if you're in a small space like your kitchen, you throw on the microwave 3 minutes and you're working in maybe like an 8x8 space. Go forward 2 times, backward 2 times for a 3-minute round and see how many forward and backwards you can do in a 3-minute round. It's gonna cook your arms, it's gonna cook your legs, it's gonna cook your entire body, it's gonna get you stronger, and that's a good thing. Now, if you have more room and you wanna go outside and do this, you can choose a 10-yard distance and you can work more set and rep schemes. For example, how many sets of 10-yard walks forward can you do? How many sets of 10 yards going backwards can you do? And you start recording your progress and you start making a little bit of a mental game on how to beat your record with these types of exercises week in and week out. Now, the beauty of these exercises is you can do them in any order and it's body weight. You can't really screw it up. And the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it. Some things to consider is if you get sore from doing it the first time, well, common sense tells you, it should tell you that, okay, I want to wait for the soreness to go away. A lot of times you'll get sore in areas of your body that you normally don't get sore in. Maybe in that push-up, that position of your palms, you might get sore in your wrists, maybe your elbows, maybe your shoulders. That's okay. What you want to do is get adequate rest and recovery. It may take a couple of days before you can hit these again. I personally believe, especially with relative bodyweight exercises such as this, you can train this daily once you get yourself in a level of conditioning that your body can handle it from day to day and recover from it day to day. So like I said, we're going to be bringing more of these types of exercises your way. And the beauty of this is you don't need a gym. You can make a gym anywhere, in your kitchen, in your hallway, outside in your backyard, in your front yard. Now, just the last thing I will say with this type of an exercise, it's legitimate. We are not pulling these exercises out of our ass just to give it to you. These are exercises that we trained hard with. Gerald trained these exercises for years when we didn't even have a gym or a weight room. And he competed and he fought and he won with these types of exercises. We would go out in a parking lot or we would be in a gym and we'd be doing wheelbarrows and bodyweight exercises. Sometimes we'd wear gloves in the parking lot. If you're outside, I would recommend you wear, you could wear batting gloves or football receiving gloves or just gardening gloves or any type of protective gloves, especially you don't want to cut your hands up. If you're in the grass, you can do the same thing or you don't have to wear gloves. It's up to you guys. A lot of exercises like these were used with Dr. Fred Hatfield, who trained Evander Holyfield during some of his professional boxing days. And Evander Holyfield, the real deal Holyfield, former heavyweight champion of the world. And they would perform these types of exercises and it got Evander Holyfield into legitimate shape. If you have any questions, please send it our way. You can direct message us. You can text us or get in touch with us. And we look forward to bringing more exercises your way. Thanks very much. Be safe. Keep checking back.